What's up, fight fans? My name is Josh Osborne.
Matt McCarty.
Jared McCarty.
And this is our UFC Fight for the Troops predictions. All right, guys, we're back with UFC Fight for the Troops. I think they got a really good card together, considering it's kind of on short notice. We got a lot of fights that are going to be taking place that night, but there's 4 that we really want to focus in on, mainly for the sake of time. First one being Frankie Edgar versus Matt Wiman. Like both of these guys. Frankie Edgar, good wrestler, amazing cardio. He really just knows how to keep the pace of a fight, but he didn't look too impressive in his last fight. He lost to Gray Maynard via decision, and it just kind of looked like he lost that fire that he's normally showing us in fights against guys like Tyson Griffin or Spencer Fisher. Very interested to see how he comes on this next fight. He's going up against Matt Wiman, who you will remember from Ultimate Fighter Season 5. Really like this guy. They're giving him some good fights, and he's proven that he belongs in that division. His last 2 fights were choking out Justin Buchholz and knocking out Thiago Tavares at UFC 85 in impressive fashion. So definitely excited to see this kid fight. So Jared, what are you thinking about this matchup?
I think Edgar, he's really got the wrestling on Wiman, but I don't think Wyman's really got to worry about it. I think he's going to keep him in close guard, probably get stood back up, and I think he's going to win TKO second round.
Nice. Matt.
Yeah, Edgar's got really good, fast, aggressive wrestling. It's not the biggest takedowns you're going to see, but like against Tyson Griffin, another good wrestler, he was faster than him. He could get around on him better, get the single back, and take him down again. That being said, Wyman's got great jiu-jitsu. Every time that Tavares had him on the ground, Wiman was trying to throw up an arm bar. But if Edgar tries to stand with him, Wiman has huge hands. I mean, he hits really hard. But I think it's going to go to the ground. I mean, that's Edgar's strength. He's going to try and beat him there, but it's not going to happen. I'm giving Wiman a triangle in the second round.
Nice. Well, I will complete this triangle of Wiman nut hugging, and I will also take Wiman via knockout.
Nice.
All right, guys, next matchup, we got Steve Cantwell versus Razak, Al-Hassan. I probably butchered that name. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, Cantwell, light heavyweight champ in WEC. Fortunately, that division does not exist anymore. He's kind of been relocated to UFC. This is his first fight. Very well-rounded fighter. Definitely like this guy. A little inexperienced, 4-1 record. Al-Hassan, we don't know much about the guy, we'll be completely honest. Here's what we do know. He's 5-0 in other organizations. Most of his wins come via submission, and his last win was over a chump named Andrew Force. That sounds like a really cool name, doesn't it? Sounds like it'd be really awesome, but he was choked out in 45 seconds, so I don't know. Not so cool. Okay, we brought in Jared mainly because he's actually been instructed by Cantwell here in Nevada. And we thought, being the Jits guy himself, he might be able to give us a little insight on Cantwell and what kind of threat this Al-Hassan guy poses to him. So, Jared, what do you think?
Well, I know Steve. He's a really cool guy, and he's really knowledgeable about MMA in general, and he's so smart about jiu-jitsu, but I don't think it's going to go there. I think he's going to try and keep it standing, knowing that Hassan is more of a ground guy, but he's definitely going to win. And it's going to be by TKO.
Wouldn't be a biased opinion or anything like that, would it?
I just have a feeling
Just a little bit?
Trying to get a free jiu-jitsu class in there, Jared.
Matt, the other McCarty, what are you thinking?
Yeah, you know, Cantwell, I've heard a lot about him. I've watched, I think, all of his WEC fights. He comes out a little crazy sometimes.
He's 22, so
yeah,
kind of expect that, right?
Yeah, definitely. He's got the energy. He's young. Yeah, really good jiu-jitsu. You don't ever really see it. I mean, you know, he choked out, I can't even remember the guy's name, some guy in the WEC. But yeah, his stand-up's really good as well. I think, though, that Razak, whatever this guy's name is, he's going to try really hard to get to the ground. You know, he wins most of his fights by submission. He's going to think he can submit Cantwell because you really don't see a lot of his jiu-jitsu out there. You see some of it, and it is good. But I think Cantwell is going to throw up a triangle in the first round and take it.
All right, moving right along, we got Mike Swick versus Jonathan Goulet. Swick, good striker.
Yeah.
Very, very fast. He's won 7 of his 8 UFC fights. Very impressive. I kind of think that this Goulet fight, and you guys might disagree with me on this, I think this Goulet fight that UFC has given him is an insult. Let me explain why. 7 of 8 fights, okay? That's not deserving of a title shot per se, but you definitely need to be fighting upper-level competition, and I think UFC was doing great by giving him Marcus Davis, because Marcus Davis was on like a 5-fight win streak or something like that. What happened? Swick ended that in pretty impressive fashion. Goulet is his next fight? Come on. I mean, fortunately, Swick is a pretty easygoing guy, so he'll take the fight. Let's talk Goulet. Not a great fighter, but he's a scrappy guy. You know, he's got decent hands. He's got some flash knockouts to his credit, so that's kind of impressive. But he doesn't have that great of a jaw, and I think Swick is totally going to be able to take advantage of that. I see Swick coming out, balls to the wall, and knocking out Goulet sometime in the first round.
Nice.
Jared.
Well, you know, I haven't been as impressed with Swick as I was when he first started in the UFC, but you know, I think if he comes out and wins it in early round, I think it's going to be the guillotine
or the Swickotine.
Swickotine, nice.
But you know, I don't see it really happening, but I'd say probably Swick decision.
Nice. Yeah, you know, I totally agree with the insult of Jonathan Goulet. No offense to Jonathan Goulet. Like Josh said, he is a scrappy fighter. He's pretty good, but he's not 7-1 good. I mean, you know, John Fitch goes 8-0, gets a title shot. I think John Fitch and what was it, Royce Gracie were the only guys to go 8-0. I mean, Mike Swick's near that. I mean, you know, that's a top 80-90% right there. Now here's my decision. Mike Swick's going to come out there. He's going to knock him out, but I don't think it's going to be on their feet. I think Swick's going to go in, take Goulet down. Goulet's going to try some weak sauce submission, not really do anything, and Swick's just going to rain bombs.
All right, guys, it is the main event of the evening. Sponsored by our newest sponsor, 8th Degree Black. Check them out at 8thDegreeBlack.com. I want to thank them for some awesome threads. Check it out. Get some for yourself on their website. Let's get right into it. We got Koscheck versus Yoshida, main event. Guys, this is something you would never expect me to say, but I have jumped aboard the Koscheck bandwagon. Hated the guy on season 1. I think the majority... You still hate him? You know what? Here's what it boils down to. His last fight against Thiago Alves, he takes the fight on short notice.
Oh, yeah.
Gets beat pretty much the whole fight.
Oh, he got wailed on.
Yeah, never at any point in the fight was he ahead or looking like he was going to win. But you know what? He showed the determination and heart that we want to see in our fighters. That's like the biggest thing. When we see a fighter just give up or not give 110%, we get pissed and we don't like it. Koscheck was not that guy. And he might be a douche when the cameras are not rolling. But in that fight, he definitely impressed me, so his stock in my book has gone up a little bit, and I've done some research online. All the haters are not quite haters anymore. Maybe Matt still is. I'll let him talk about that. Okay, Koscheck, yeah, he lost to Alves. Yoshida, here's an interesting fact, has never been to a third round in his career. Very interesting. I think that's going to change at this fight. I see Koscheck taking Yoshida down.
Yeah.
And I see Yoshida using some sick judo throws to flip Koscheck down on the ground as well. So both these guys are going to be on the ground. Here's the defining factor. Who is going to control the fight once it hits the ground? Who is going to rain down the elbows, do all the damage, and just control the fight and win in that regard? And this one, I'm taking Koscheck to win via decision.
Nice.
Jared.
Nice.
Not bad. I'm not a huge Koscheck fan, but yeah, I'm going to say third round. But I'm going to say TKO.
TKO, nice, Matt.
Yoshiyuki Yoshida, what is it, 4th degree black belt in judo. Traditional wrestler in Koscheck, so Koscheck's probably going to try and stay low with his takedowns, go for the hips. Is he going to try to clinch with Yoshida on the cage? He might. I don't think that will be in his game plan, and it wouldn't be a good idea. You know, with the judo background, he's just going to get thrown. I agree with Josh when he says Koscheck's going to take him down. I don't agree with Josh when he says he's going to win. I'm going to give this to Yoshida. First round, submission. Okay, it's going to be a good fight. Definitely Koscheck has the advantage the longer the fight goes. You know, when they start getting slippery, Yoshida's not going to be able to go for those submissions. But I think Yoshida's going to be good enough to either take Koscheck down with a judo throw or throw up some crazy submissions from the bottom when Koscheck takes him down in the first round, keep him off his, off his game and finish it.
Well, guys, that wraps it up for us. We will catch you at UFC 92 coming up soon. Boy, we're going to have fun talking about that one.
Oh, yeah.
But, guys, that is it. I'm Josh Osborne.
Matt McCarty.
I'm Jared McCarty.
And we will catch you on the flip side. Later.